I'm up before 5 again. Not because the time change is doing it for me this morning. Because today I leave the city that just spent 2 days teaching me how to see it. Saigon got day 1 and day 2. Hoi An gets day 3. And before the flight even leaves the ground, the trip begins to do something I didn't plan for. Something I'm still thinking about. Tan Son Nhat is a different airport than the one I arrived through 3 days ago. Brand new. Glass and light and modern lines. This is the country at the speed it wants the world to see it. I'm at the gate. The flight to Da Nang is a regional one, Vietnam Airlines. An hour up the coast and 35 minutes south by car to the town I have been thinking about for months. My phone vibrates. It's Candace, my travel agent, awake at 1 in the morning her time, sending me a message. The hotel I booked in Hoi An is overbooked. And I'm not getting the room I paid for the next 8 days. Before I can read the message twice, the second message arrives. She's already working on it for me. A new hotel, an upgrade, and no charge to me. Thank you, Candace. What I don't know yet, standing at the gate with the coffee getting cold in my hand, is the country that I've come to test is about to begin testing me back. Not with refusal, with care. I board the plane and I find my row. The man in the next seat is a Buddhist monk, saffron robes, hands folded in his lap. The calm of someone who has stopped a long time before I sat down. He nods and I nod. The exchange is complete. Kindness and smiles are exchanged without a word. An hour over central Vietnam in silence, beside a man who knows how to be still in a way the rest of the cabin does not. I don't believe in signs, but after 2 days in the city that didn't stop moving, an hour beside a man who has stopped a long time ago felt like the trip was telling me where I was going next. Da Nang is a coastal city, an hour north of Hoi An by road. I land, I find a grab pickup. The bag goes in the trunk, and the road south begins. 35 to 45 minutes pass. Long enough for the glass towers to give way to plaster walls. Long enough to see the first rice fields. Long enough for the architecture to start telling me a different story than the one Saigon was telling. I open the door of the new hotel and the comparison arrives without my permission. In Saigon, I slept 2 nights in a room without a window. The walls were close. The air was filtered. The city was beyond a wall I could not see through. In Hoi An, the door opens to a balcony, a wide window, a pool below, and light coming in low and warm from a sky I can read. This is one night, on a way to a permanent room a few blocks away for 8 days ahead. But it is one night that says something the windowless room could not. The trip is taking care of me. I grab the camera and I walk out to find Old Town on foot. The neighborhood I'm crossing through has its own color vocabulary. Yellow walls, weathered by years of monsoon. Ochre patches where the plaster is lifted. Red paint on the doors of family homes that have been family homes longer than I've been alive. I'm photographing the walk before I've arrived. This is the discipline returning without effort. The street is its own subject before the destination is. Halfway, I find a small kitchen with plastic stools, 12 inches off the ground, and a plastic table the size of a serving tray. A woman waves me in. I sit and I point. I receive a bowl of noodles and herbs and grilled pork on lemongrass skewers. That may have been the best pork I have eaten. The bill is approximately $3 Canadian. I have paid more for a coffee in my own town. What this street is about to teach me in a town I came for stillness is how to photograph a celebration I didn't know was happening. It's the 50th anniversary of Reunification Day. It's also called Liberation Day, the end of the war. The unification of North and South into one country. Half a century to the day, and the entire country is on the street. Shoulder to shoulder, families 3 generations deep. Children on the shoulders of fathers I'm not tall enough to see over. The old town I came to photograph for its stillness is the loudest place I've stood in since the first night in Bui Vin. There's a decision a crowd this dense forces on you, and I have the advantage. Height. At eye level, inside a crowd, every frame is the back of someone's head. So you go higher or you go lower. Higher means a stair, a curb, a bridge railing. Lower means a knee or a squat. I work both, and I work them quickly. 45 frames in 20 minutes. Most of them are notes, not photographs. And the composition I came here chasing, the one I've been imagining for months, is not in any of them. Not tonight. I lower the camera before I run the battery down on frames that aren't earning it. I know what tomorrow morning is. I know what 5 in the morning does to a street when everyone goes home. Tonight is reconnaissance. Tomorrow is the work. Back at the hotel, the evening softens. I don't photograph dinner. I sit at a small table beside the pool, and I eat nothing exotic, but it's good. I think about Saigon for a few minutes. 2 days ago, I would not have been able to imagine this. A balcony, a pool, and quiet. The cost of this room is less than a night in a room in a small town in the Okanagan. I sleep early. Old Town opens for me at 5 in the morning. And Old Town doesn't wait for anyone who's not already there when it does. 2 days ago in Saigon, I shot about 100 frames. It cost me an entire night. This morning, it cost me less than 30 minutes. The eye has already begun to know what to look for. Just before 5 in the morning, I step out into the street that has no people in it. This is the same street that 12 hours ago held the entire country. The flags are still on the balconies. The lanterns are still strung overhead. The plastic stools from the food vendors are still stacked by the doorways. But the street itself is empty. And what was chaos last night is the cleanest light I've walked into in 3 days. There's a reason that this hour matters. The light at 5 in the morning in Hoi An comes in low from the east, the color of a candle held against a yellow wall. And it lands on the architecture from one side, not all sides at once. A yellow plaster wall under directional light is a different photograph than the same wall under midday flat light. Under direction, you can see where it is rough, where it's been repaired, and what the rain has done to it. The Japanese covered bridge, the morning light catches the timber from a single angle. The carved details rise out of the wood. The reflection in the water below becomes a second photograph underneath the first. None of this is available at noon. I shoot the bridge at 28mm for the full length of it and the river in front. By the time the first shopkeeper opens its shutter, I've shot over 100 frames, and the frantic pace of last night is gone. I keep walking. The town is waking around me. A fruit cart, fresh bread, a cat waking up in the window, unbothered by the photographer passing by. I find my way to the central market a few blocks up along the river. Produce and seafood arriving every morning directly from the boats and farms. Herbs, greens, live fish, and fruit I don't have names for. And here is where the morning really gives me something. 3 days ago, this market would have been foreign. The faces, the movement, the language, and the smells. All of it. What used to seem foreign is becoming something I'm getting used to. I don't know what to do with that information yet. I'm going to keep walking and let it sit. On the way back to the hotel, I stop at a small stand for coffee and a banh mi. The coffee is the best I've had in 3 days, and also a work of art, with a tree carefully laid out in the foam and chocolate. I take my time with this coffee, and sit in the quiet and settle into the morning. The banh mi is a different sandwich than the famous one in Saigon, and somehow the better one. I eat walking, in the cooler air of the morning that is just starting to lift. 2 cities, 3 days, and underneath the work something is moving. The back is tight from the pace, but I'm pushing through and sitting when the pain becomes the focus. Saigon was the test, a light that does not wait, the street that doesn't cooperate. Hoi An is something else. Hoi An is the question of whether life could be made here. I don't have the answer yet. Last night I couldn't see the frame I'd been thinking about for months. This morning I made 100 of them, before the shopkeeper even opened a shutter. 2 versions of the same town in 12 hours, and 8 more days here to find out which version is the real one. In the afternoon, I switch hotels, and the trip has not yet stopped surprising me. I went to Hoi An to find out whether a slower town would let me photograph in a way Saigon would not. 3 days in, the question is bigger than that. The question underneath the practice is starting to answer, quietly, in the places I did not expect. The next episode goes deeper into Hoi An, the lantern boats on the Tubon River at night, once this festival has quieted back down. The hotel rescue on day 3 was work of a real person. Candace, my travel agent, she handled every leg of this trip, and on day 3 she handled a problem that would have wrecked my plans before I even knew I had one. Her link is in the description, and I recommend her without reservation. If you want a free guide on landscape photography techniques while you wait for the next episode, it's also in the description below. The advanced ebook covers the full process. I edit everything through DxO Photolab and the Nick collection. There's a discount code listed below for 15% off. It's a strong software, and I use it, and I wouldn't mention it if I didn't. If you want to follow this journey, like the video and subscribe. The light doesn't wait, and neither should we.